Wait, you're telling me they buy rocks because they glitter? The ambassador of the Glar Confederacy blinked its 6 eyes in absolute disbelief. Across the chamber, the human delegate was already halfway through a bag of caramel popcorn, chewing loudly and nodding like this was the most normal thing in the universe. Yep, the human said, spraying crumbs. We even made a whole market out of it. Diamonds, crystals, meteorite chunks. Oh! We had a whole craze about healing stones back in the 21st century. Wild times. The ambassador slowly turned to its translator pod. This species is clinically unwell. Welcome to Earth, home of the only species to nearly bankrupt itself, twice over shiny cardboard with dragons printed on them. See, the galaxy had rules, economic systems, balance, stability. And then, humans happened. It all started when Earth was finally admitted into the Unified Galactic Trade Network after passing the last psychological suitability test by only 1.3% margin, and that was after 3 appeals and 1 bribery attempt involving coffee beans and cat videos. The Council had hesitated for decades. The reports were concerning, emotionally volatile, unpredictable behavioral patterns, one species-wide obsession with artificial scarcity, and perhaps most terrifying, a deeply irrational attachment to the concept of limited edition. But in the end, the Council relented. Earth was in, and to celebrate, humanity did what humanity does best, create chaos under the illusion of creativity. They launched their first official galactic product line. It was elegant, mysterious, beautiful, and utterly useless. Limited edition moon dust in collectible crystal jars, now with 12 rarities and 3 ultra mystics. No utility, no power, no technological advantage. Just moon dust, inside glass. Some jars lit up, some didn't. One had a holographic sticker that played a looping animation of a cat in a space helmet. Aliens didn't understand. Why would anyone pay 3,000 credits for dust? Why did the price double when fewer were available? Why did the existence of a shiny variant cause literal screaming matches in interstellar bidding wars? The Skrblacks didn't understand. The Glar definitely didn't understand. Even the High Oracle of Vec, who could calculate 5 timelines in parallel, gave up trying to grasp it. But humans? Humans lined up at spaceports for hours. They wore shirts that said, "Dust for Life." They posted unboxing videos on the galactic net. They traded, swapped, fought, cried, and celebrated when they found the rarest version, the reverse color sparkle holo jar signed edition. It didn't take long for alien collectors to get curious, then jealous, then obsessed. Because if there's one universal truth in the galaxy, it's this. Nothing makes something valuable quite like someone else wanting it first. The tipping point came when the Zelton ambassador, a normally logical being made entirely of neural mist, impulsively bought 300 crates of gold core dust jars just to outbid a human teenager from Ohio. From there, it spiraled. The Grolls began minting their own knockoffs. The B-Rex launched a review channel dedicated to unboxing human nonsense. And the Skrblacks empire. Oh dear. The Skrblacks committed 7% of their yearly economic output to a bidding war over a single jar rumored to contain actual Earth dirt from a sacred site called Burning Man. Spoiler, it was just glitter and sand. Back on Earth, nobody had any idea what was going on. The original creators of the Moondust line, 2 guys from New Jersey and a retired raccoon trainer, were sobbing from laughter as they raked in profits from an intergalactic fan base they didn't know they had. When asked by a galactic economist why they created the product in the first place, one of the humans said, "Bro, we just thought space people might dig limited merch. It's like part of the hustle, you know?" The economist wept openly, on camera. The Glar Finance Guild tried to introduce emergency regulations to stabilize the situation. Too late. Demand for moon dust jars exploded, prices surged, entire trade routes were disrupted to handle delivery logistics. The words limited drop triggered instant bidding wars. Meanwhile, humans kept dropping new collections. Moondust, Retro Remix Edition, Solar Flare glitter jars, now with melting core simulation. Galactic Pride crystals, collect all 42 colors. No rhyme, no reason, just hype. And the galaxy? The galaxy ate it up. Inside a council chamber filled with panic, Ambassador Zerl of the Threat Collective slammed the table. They've broken the system. They don't understand supply and demand. They just create want. Artificial. Manufactured with no regard for consequences. A voice from the back whispered, trembling, They're not trading, they're gamifying capitalism. All 6 council members shivered. Back on Earth, a small announcement went live. Coming soon, lunar cupcakes made with real moon flavor. 12 flavors, 1 secret rare. Somewhere across the galaxy, a banker fainted. And that was only week 1. It all came crashing down over a flavor. Not a war, not a political scandal, not even some terrifying new weapon. Nope. The tipping point of interstellar commerce was something called Platinum Flavor Moon Dust Ultra Mystic Series. It didn't even taste like anything. Probably wasn't edible. In fact, the packaging clearly said, "Do not ingest." Seriously. But that didn't stop the Surblax Empire from buying 300,000 units overnight. Why? Because someone on the Galactic Net posted that it was the rarest of the rare, and humans responded with a phrase that would haunt the galaxy forever. It's a grail piece. That was it. That's all it took. The Surblax Chancellor, a 9-tentacled economist named Vultar, demanded a full report. He stared at the hologram of the jar. Silver crystal, swirling glow, platinum font. It looked special, important, sacred, even. He turned to his advisors. Does it do anything? A long pause. One advisor cleared her throat. No, Chancellor. It just sparkles more than the others. Vultar blinked. Twice. Slowly. And this sparkle increases the value? Only because there are fewer of them. Another pause. Why are there fewer of them? Because the humans decided there would be. The Chancellor stared into the distance. These people are a threat to civilization. But it was already too late. By that afternoon, collectors across 5-star systems were liquidating assets. Cargo fleets were rerouted. Trade agreements paused. The Blarthy Mining Union went on strike demanding to be paid in moon dust instead of credits. And on the black market? 1 platinum flavor jar traded for a decommissioned battlecruiser. Meanwhile, on Earth, the original human creators, Kevin and Trey, 2 dropshipping bras from New Jersey, were busy launching the next phase of their operation, Moon Dust. Spicy edition. Same dust, just red glitter. When asked about the platinum flavor situation, Kevin shrugged and said, "Yeah, man, we only made like 20 of those. Thought it'd be funny. Didn't expect all this." All this being interstellar collapse. The Galactic Council called an emergency summit. Ambassadors arrived panicked, furious, some sobbing, some shaking. The GLAR representative slammed his datapad on the table. They're creating value from nothing. This is financial sorcery. The Threk ambassador wailed. They made scarcity a marketing gimmick. That's cultural vandalism. The High Oracle of Vec just sat in silence, twitching. Across the room, a human observer sipped bubble tea and smiled. The council demanded an explanation. How can a dust jar with no function destabilize 14 planetary markets? The human stood, took a deep breath, and calmly replied, "Because it's limited edition, bro." Half the room fainted. 2 ambassadors screamed. One attempted to eat a chair. Desperate to regain control, the council issued a universal decree. All moon dust products are now banned from regulated trade channels. It didn't help. If anything, it made things worse. Because now they were illegal. And if there's anything rarer than limited edition, it's banned limited edition. Within hours, prices doubled. A rumor spread that a shadowy collector on the dark side of Betacross was offering a moon in exchange for an unopened platinum jar. And so began the dust rush. Smugglers, traders, treasure hunters, all racing to find the last remaining moon dust units before they vanished forever. Entire starships were loaded with counterfeit jars. Galactic customs officers couldn't keep up. One officer quit on the spot after seizing a shipment of spicy edition jars, only to discover it was just red glitter mixed with chili powder. He now lives alone on a space farm, mumbling about the glitter lies. Meanwhile, the cultural chaos grew. Alien celebrities posted reaction videos to their new jars. Influencers launched dust hall segments. One Glorthian beauty guru introduced moon dust highlighter to their makeup routine and accidentally triggered a new galactic fashion trend. Back on Earth, Kevin and Trey were drowning in money and confusion. "Dude," said Kevin, scrolling through the galactic net, "someone's auctioning off a volcano for a misprinted jar with the wrong Earth year on it." Trey blinked. "Should we, tell them it's a mistake?" Kevin stared at him, then slowly shook his head. "Nah." In space, the council's panic deepened. Economists across the galaxy were being admitted to mental wellness retreats. The Central Bank of Lorax tried to reset their entire currency system around real value. It collapsed in 3 hours. The BRX tried to print a formal warning label, "Do not engage with human scarcity constructs." But it was already too late. The galaxy had tasted the rush, the thrill, the chase, the madness. And just when things couldn't get worse, a teaser dropped. A holographic ad beamed into every major system. Coming soon moon dust, Galactic Holocup Series 1. Real moon particles, real shimmer. One secret cup in every box. The council screamed. Markets trembled. And humanity? Humanity just hit refresh on their online store, smiling. It all could have ended there. The council had issued the bans. The markets were crashing. Half the galaxy was in therapy. But no, humans escalated. Within days of the moon dust scandal, a new product was teased. And this time, it wasn't dust. It wasn't shiny rocks. It was something far worse. Galactic Holocups, Series 1. No one even knew what they were at first. The teaser was just 30 seconds of flashy animations, pulsing synth music, and a spinning cup made of holographic light with the words, "Collect, Trade, Flex, Coming Soon." That was it. No explanation, no features, not even a description of what the cup did, if it did anything at all. And the galaxy lost its mind. Because humans didn't explain it, it must be exclusive. If it's exclusive, it must be valuable. And if it's valuable, they had to get it first. The panic was instant. Pre-orders crashed entire servers. Pirates began raiding cargo lines just in case a shipment of holocups was on board. Rumors spread that there were only 10 ultra-rare variants hidden across the known galaxy. People started lying, stealing, betraying their own species. The Zelton Archive Federation collapsed overnight when one of its elders leaked internal funds to secure a glow core cup for his private vault. When caught, he simply said, "It completes the set." The council reconvened in a state of full-blown chaos. They're doing it again! This is psychological warfare. They've launched collectible containers, and the galaxy is treating it like a religion. The Glar ambassador stood up, wild-eyed. Has anyone even asked the humans why they made the cups? Silence. One brave analyst was sent to Earth. She arrived in a diplomatic shuttle, armed with logic, economic theory, and a desperate plea for sanity. She was greeted by Kevin. Kevin was on a skateboard, wearing a t-shirt that sash holo-hype. She asked him, as calmly as she could, "Please, just tell us, what is the function of these cups?" Kevin blinked. "I mean, they don't do anything." The analyst's jaw dropped. "Nothing." "Well, they look cool. Some change color when you tilt them. One of them has, like, a mini hologram of a duck doing finger guns," she staggered. "And the rare ones? Oh, one of them's invisible unless you chant the phrase, 'Sip the stars' near a UV light. That one's sick." The analyst screamed. The interview never aired. She returned to her homeworld and promptly retired to a cave. Back in the galaxy, the holocup fever reached critical mass. Collectors started hiring psychics to predict future rare drops. A Groll cult formed around the legend of Cup Number 7, which was said to shimmer with the memory of the Big Bang. One planet made holocups legal tender. And then someone found the misprint. A standard Series 1 holocup with the Earth flag printed upside down. That tiny design flaw triggered the largest interstellar bidding war in recorded history. Bidders included the Earthlings royal family, 2 AI banking systems, a sentient moon named Derek, and one human YouTuber named Zoe the Collector 42. The final price? 1 moon, 1 space station, and partial ownership of a small sun. Zoe won. She now lives on her moon. With the cup, she streams 3 times a week. Back at the council, things were not okay. The Threk ambassador could no longer speak in complete sentences. The Oracle of Vec began twitching in binary. The Glar finance minister was last seen shouting, "Value is a lie," while throwing fruit at a hologram of Kevin. And that's when it happened. The moment. The realization. One quiet council member whispered it out loud. They're not manipulating the market. Everyone turned. They're not exploiting resources or weaponizing data or pushing any grand strategy. A hush fell across the chamber. They're just vibing. The room froze. He continued, voice shaking. They don't plan. They don't calculate. They just create shiny nonsense, and it works. Silence. One by one, they sat down. Some cried. Some laughed. The Skurblack's chancellor slumped in his seat and whispered, "We tried to outsmart them. We tried to outbid them. But how do you fight a species that breaks the economy by accident?" There was no answer. Only the sound of another notification. Holocup Series 2 dropping next week, featuring Smell-O-Vision mode. And in the distance, the slow, muffled sound of galactic institutions collapsing under the weight of pure, unfiltered hype. It ended, not with a war, not with a treaty, not even with a dramatic standoff. It ended with a duck, a holographic duck, doing finger guns, projected from the rim of a cup that didn't actually exist unless you tilted it under a blacklight while whispering, "Sip the stars" with perfect pronunciation. They called it the ultra-rare reverse red-white-blue variant. Only one existed, allegedly, and when news of it leaked onto the galactic net, entire civilizations went feral. The Glar Confederacy offered 5 moons and a diplomatic pardon for 12 space crimes just to get a sighting. The Vlaraxians declared a planetary holiday in its honor, despite the fact that none of them had seen it and their species had no eyes. A betting pool opened across 19 systems. Would it be sold? Would it be stolen? Was it even real? Meanwhile, back on Earth, it was sitting on a shelf in New Jersey, right next to a microwave, covered in dust, and forgotten. Because, as it turns out, it was a misprint. A packaging accident. Kevin had dropped one of the prototype hollow cups behind the fridge while eating spaghetti. He'd retrieved it a week later, noticed the glitchy shimmer and off-color flag, and said, "Huh, weird. Want to keep it? Nah, let's just chuck it in the oops pile." That oops pile became legend. Someone, no one knows who, snapped a blurry photo of it during a warehouse livestream. One pixelated frame. The duck was visible. Barely. That was enough. Within 24 hours, the photo had been enhanced, analyzed, and posted to every major galactic trade forum. 1,000 conspiracy theories were born. Was the duck waving? Was it wearing a cape? Did it blink in Morse code? Then came the offers. Planets, asteroid belts, military secrets. One collector offered an entire army of clones, pre-named and trained in intergalactic dance combat. And through all of this, Kevin and Trey, they didn't notice. Because they were busy launching their newest product, Space Beans. Limited edition flavor drops, includes 1 invisible bean per 10 packs. That's right, beans. Glowing, floating, possibly edible, no one knew. Didn't matter. The drop sold out in 6 minutes. One of the packs made a humming sound. That one alone sparked an entire religious movement on planet Krog. But back to the duck. The council couldn't take it anymore. They convened one last time, no longer to fight, but to beg. We must talk to them, reason with them, plead if we must, just make it stop. A delegation was sent to Earth, highly ranked, emotionally trained, carrying peace offerings and backup chocolate. They landed in New Jersey. They arrived at the warehouse. And they saw Kevin and Trey live streaming a prank involving glitter, jelly, and a rocket-powered Roomba. No guards, no security, no sense of urgency whatsoever. The council ambassadors approached slowly, cautiously, like scientists observing an apex predator in its native habitat. Trey looked up, holding a half-melted hollow cup. "Yo, you guys here for the drop?" The Glar ambassador stepped forward, trembling. We come in surrender." Kevin blinked. "Huh?" "We surrender, not in war, not in peace, but in confusion, bewilderment, and frankly, exhaustion." Trey nodded sympathetically. "That's valid. We ask only one thing," the ambassador said, voice cracking. "Please, no more special editions." Kevin and Trey exchanged a glance. Then Kevin reached into a dusty box, pulled out a prototype, held it up. It was glowing, changing color, singing a faint, jazzy version of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. On its rim, the duck saluted. The council collapsed. Right there, on the warehouse floor, some in tears, some laughing, one just muttering, "It's beautiful." The Glar ambassador whispered, "We tried to conquer them. We tried to understand them. But these creatures, they don't build empires. They build hype." That moment was burned into galactic history. It marked the official end of what economists would later call the Hollow Cup catastrophe. From that day forward, a new law was passed. Under no circumstances shall humanity be allowed to name, price, or distribute novelty merchandise without direct council supervision. Of course, humans immediately sold commemorative t-shirts that said, "Banned from the economy, still got the cup." They sold 17 billion units. And the duck? Still sitting on that shelf, behind the microwave, smiling.